What's up, guys? This is Ruben with Happy Couple 1989. Just wanted to reach out. I just wanted to talk to everybody and let you guys know, keep your head up. Keep going. Keep trying. This world is tough. And I know it feels overwhelming at times, but man, all you got is your sanity. Just keep pushing through. Whether it comes to health, bills, friendships, things like that, just keep a good attitude. Keep up being in a good state of mind. You cannot let the world knock you down, because it will if you let it. Oh, here comes Smokey, and he heard me talking. But, it's so easy for people just to feel overwhelmed and like they're suffocating and, get anxiety and let the world take over their lives. And you can't. You got to have strong faith in God and your relationships, family, friends, and all lean on each other, but especially God. That makes us that much stronger, And then having friends and family, neighbors, whoever, you have to see the good things in life too. It's not just bills and work. You have to take time to see the sunshine, to see the good in the world. Because all you see is bad. Face it, every time you listen to the news, turn on the radio, it's bad. They don't want to report somebody doing something good because nobody will listen or tune in. They just want to know the severe, the worst of the worst, so people will listen to their channel, or to their station. But we got to remember there are good people out there. There are good companies out there. There are good employers out there. There are good wives and parents and kids. Kids, all you hear about is the bad things that they do, all of the theft and vandalism and shootings. But I guarantee you there's a lot more good out there than there is bad. And that's where we can only do our part and be part of the good. We need to set the example. We need to be out there being positive and showing love and support to everybody, help uplift everybody, and that's how good things will come to you. Just put it out there in the world. Put your faith in God. Let people see how strong you are, to where you become an example for them. Don't be secluded. We tend to, in this new world, hide, except for with our family. But we tend to hide from society, hide from our neighbors. We're just getting out of the car and we're just going straight into the house, not saying hello, how are you? You never know how that quick conversation can make a difference in somebody's lives. It's something that you need to contribute to society, because people feel the world is changing, and it is. And it feels like for the worst, and it probably is. But I sure know there's a lot of us out there that want things to change, have more stability, more love, more caring in the world. And how are we going to get there? By doing it, by leading by example. I do that sometimes. Sometimes I'm so into work and, I get home and then I just want to just get away and, I'm tired of being nice and kissing butt with Walmart managers or whatever, or any manager, and I just want to shut down. But then I got to remember, I have a wife that's waiting for me. I have kids that are waiting for me. I have dogs and cats, Smokey, waiting for me. But that's what's important. Work is work. It'll always be there. But there's times when you have to shut down, and sometimes you have to focus and pay attention to what's really important. You know, that's God, family, Dallas Cowboys. Oh, I'm sorry. Kids, you know, neighbors. Be there for them. So they're going to be there for you when you need it, you know. So start thinking of the good you can do. Reaching out to people to see how they're doing. We need a little bit more of that in this world if we're going to make a difference. And I, for one, am going to start trying a little bit harder to do the right thing, to be there for others, to show love and care and support for others, not just expecting everybody to do it for me when I need it. You know, we all need to put out that hand to help, you know, help each other. Because when you need help, you know that people are going to be running to help you because you were there for them. Now, it doesn't mean you do it just to get something in return, but just be there for them. Be there for your family and friends, and, you know, even people you don't know. You see somebody struggling out in the street, dropping something, or they have a flat, you know, stop and make sure they're okay. You know, if they're elderly or they're, you know, somebody that really looks in distress, just ask. You know, that makes the difference in all situations. You know, you never know what people are going through. There's so much depression and anxiety out there that you never know how many people are on the verge of wanting to end it all, kill themselves, go hurt somebody else. But that one or two acts of kindness, the way of making them feel important and that they matter, can change their outlook in life. You know, that doesn't mean it's going to be like that forever, but at least in that moment, they had second thoughts about doing something to hurt themselves or others. You know, so think about it. You know, we'll talk again tomorrow and see, you know, send me some comments. You know, send me some thoughts that you have. You know, what are some things you think you can do to make a difference in this world and be there for others, even if they're different from you. All right, guys, y'all have a great day, and happy couple 1989. Please subscribe. Love you guys. Bye.